Picture this. It's 5 a.m. The world's still dark. Your phone's lighting up with notifications, but none of them matter right now. Because in this moment, you're facing the hardest battle of all, the battle with yourself. We all talk about motivation when the spotlight's on, but what happens in those quiet moments when no one's watching? When there's no Instagram story to post, no one to impress, just you and your goals staring each other down. Today, we're delving deep into the raw truth about staying motivated when the cameras are off and the real work begins. Because here's what nobody tells you. The greatest transformations happen in complete silence. Have you ever noticed how everyone's a champion when the crowd's cheering? But real success, the kind that reshapes your entire life, is built in empty rooms, on quiet mornings, and in moments when giving up seems like the easiest choice. Let's start with a hard truth. No one is coming to save you. That might sound harsh, but it's actually the most liberating realization you'll ever have. Think about it. How long have you been waiting? Waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or someone to push you toward your dreams? Here's what happens while you wait. Life moves on. That dream you keep putting off, it's getting further away every single day. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't about motivation at all. It's about something much more powerful, self-reliance. Remember that project you abandoned 3 months ago, the one that could have changed everything, is still there, waiting. The question is, are you ready to approach it differently this time? Let's break this down into real, actionable steps. First, we need to understand what kills motivation when no one's watching. It's not laziness, it's the gap between expectation and reality. You expect progress to feel good, to be exciting. But real progress, it feels like pushing through mud. It's uncomfortable, it's boring. And that's exactly where the magic happens. Think of it like building a house. Everyone sees the finished product, but the foundation. It's invisible, it's underground. But without it, everything else falls apart. Your daily choices, the ones no one sees or celebrates, they're your foundation. Here's what most people get wrong. They wait for motivation to strike like lightning. But motivation isn't a lightning bolt. It's more like a pilot light. Small, consistent, but powerful enough to ignite something massive when you need it. Let's get practical. When you're alone, facing that moment of choice, workout or Netflix, work on your side hustle or scroll through social media, here's what you do. The 5-second rule. The moment you feel resistance, count backward from 5. At 1, move. Physically move. No thinking, no negotiating with yourself. Movement precedes motivation. Create success triggers. Set up your environment for tomorrow's battle. Today, gym clothes laid out. Phone on airplane mode. Workspace cleared. Make the right choice the easy choice. Document your darkness. Keep a visibility journal. Track the invisible wins. The times you chose discomfort when no one was looking. These aren't just entries in a journal. They're building blocks of your future success. Each small win, every tiny choice to push forward, is literally reconstructing your character from the ground up. Here's what's fascinating about these small wins. They compound. That extra rep when your arms are shaking, that additional hour of work when your mind is begging for distraction. These moments might seem insignificant in isolation, but together, they're forging something extraordinary. Think of each small win as a brick. One brick doesn't make a mansion, but stack them consistently, day after day, and suddenly you're building an empire. And let's talk about comfort zones for a moment. You know that comfortable routine you've settled into, that familiar pattern that feels safe and predictable? It's actually your biggest enemy. Comfort is the killer of greatness. Nobody in history ever achieved anything remarkable by staying comfortable. Think about it. Every major breakthrough, every transformation, every success story you admire, they all started with someone stepping out of their comfort zone. But here's the real kicker. Your comfort zone isn't just holding you back, it's actively shrinking your potential. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're not staying the same, you're actually regressing. The world moves forward while comfort keeps you stuck. That's why breaking free from your comfort zone isn't just an option, it's a necessity for survival in today's world. And here's where it gets really interesting. The struggle you're facing right now, it's not your enemy. That voice telling you to quit, It's not your enemy either. They're your tools, your teachers. Every moment of resistance is actually a gift, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. Think about the last time you pushed through when everything in you wanted to quit. How did it feel afterward? That feeling, that's not pride in the achievement. That's pride in who you became in the process. Let's talk about endurance. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. Why? Because breakthroughs feel exactly like breaking points. The only difference is what you do next. You know those moments when you're absolutely certain you can't go on. That's usually when you're at 40% of your actual capacity. Think about that. When your mind is screaming, "I'm done," you're not even halfway through what you're capable of. The truth about motivation is that it's not about feeling good. It's about being relentless. It's about making the same choice day after day, even when you don't see results, especially when you don't see results. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moments that feel the most pointless are often the ones that matter most. Think of it like compound interest for your character. Every time you choose the harder path, you're not just making progress. You're increasing your capacity for future growth. Those invisible wins we talked about earlier, they're rewiring your brain, restructuring your identity. You're literally becoming a different person through these choices. Remember, the world's most successful people aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who kept showing up when everyone else went home. They're the ones who understood that greatness is built in darkness. They recognized that comfort is the enemy of progress, and they made discomfort their closest ally. Consider this. Every major achievement in history was built on thousands of unseen moments. Moments of doubt, fatigue, and uncertainty. But what separated the greats from everyone else wasn't their absence of doubt. It was their relationship with it. They learned to see doubt as a compass pointing toward growth, discomfort as a sign they're moving in the right direction. So here's your real challenge. Can you fall in love with the process? Not the goals, not the results, but the daily grind. Because that's where transformation happens. In the repetition, in the routine, in the moments no one will ever see or celebrate. You're probably wondering what separates those who make it from those who don't. Here's the truth. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even hard work. It's the ability to keep going when the motivation runs out. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, remember this. The choice you make in that moment will echo through your entire future. No one will know about it except you, and that's exactly why it matters so much. Here's what's really interesting though. The person who started watching this video isn't the same person who's hearing these words right now. Something shifted. The question is, what are you going to do about it? And if you think motivation is powerful, wait until you see what happens when you combine it with ironclad discipline. That's what we're exploring into this next video, and it's going to change everything you thought you knew about achieving your goals.